Hello and welcome back to another sketchbook tour. This is my sketchbook. My name's Kelly, I draw things, and I'm an illustrator and comic artist, and let's dive in. So first, I cover my sketchbook in stickers, which is kind of my thing. Overall, I didn't really like the sketchbook. It was really small and I hated the spiral, but it was a ton of pages and it wasn't like bad enough that I didn't want to draw on it. But I definitely wouldn't pick the sketchbook again. I'm much more of a lay flat type of person, and mixed media paper is much better for me specifically. So the first page I leave blank so I can write down my business email and my name in case someone finds it, they can return it to me. I can test out pens as well. This page says "This Way Up," but it is a doodle of some baking stuff, it looks like, which this further inspired a lot of my TikTok lives in this sketchbook. This wasn't a TikTok live, but it was a doodle and I liked using the pen. So you'll see them later, but that was the first one. Here I have two bunnies building a snowman. That was just done with ink, some underdrawing and non-photo blue pencil. This was based off of a Pokemon card that I pulled out of a pack randomly. Mareep's one of my favorite Pokemon. I love that whole evolution line. And I kind of redrew it with some different ideas. These were doodles for an ink drawing I did based off of a TikTok where a dog was chasing a moon. This was one of my very first TikTok lives. So what I do is I fold it under, I just have one sheet, and then at the top I have another piece of paper and it says something like, "Help me fill my sketchbook with," and then whatever. And I think this was tasty treats. Some constellation doodles. Again, same premise as my other TikTok live. This was "Help me fill my sketchbook with animals," and that I just used a gel pen, a jelly roll pen, and I liked it. I did a lot of them in December, but I did more food, more animals, cozy things, Pokemon, more food, more animals. As you can see, food and animals are a big popular thing for me to draw. Yeah, I did so many of them, I even like burnt myself out. This one was fun. I didn't get nearly as much engagement, but my favorite, it was animals and sweaters. My favorite was the snake. And I accidentally put the mouse next to the snake and people were like, "No, no," and I was like, "No, they're in love." So saved it there. This was Thanksgiving food, and then I started doodling again. I like this cat shape. I don't like I put the texture in it, and these frogs look like they're about to start singing. He's cool too. A bunch of cat silhouettes, kind of playing around with some shape language. This is a technique where I started doing some like gel pen over, well, I think it was gel pen first and some marker, and it kind of creates this interesting texture. It kind of looks like tire tread a little bit. Some chickens, a girl listening to who knows what in the rain, trying out some media, trying out some hand lettering. This was a cool thumbnail that I liked. It's a down shot into this little pond fountain thing, and there's their trainer, or maybe a trainer, but not their trainer, and then there's a bunch of water Pokemon around it too, and there are some buckets and stuff, so I thought that was kind of fun. Another live stream page. More live streams. This one was fun. I like that gummy worm quite a bit. I had just finished playing Pokemon Violet, and very, very early on I got a, the little one. The big one's Azumarill. I don't remember what the little one's called, but I got a little one shiny. It was like 3 minutes in, and so I used it the whole game, and it was really, really great. And I really like being on top of cliffs. And there's my Rotom, which I made match my shoes. I made sure my shoes matched my golden Azumarill, and then Rotom matched my shoes. So it was a whole look. This was the start to a commission that I got at Anime Day Atlanta 2022, which is probably my best show based on time invested versus money earned. Some more stars and doodle stuff. I think this was a page where I was just like drawing to draw, which isn't a great reason to draw. Some more live stream stuff. We were getting into Christmas. Lots of Christmas live stream stuff. And I like that fireplace. That ended up becoming part of my Patreon garland for December. That penguin too, I believe. Maybe not that penguin, but a penguin. But yeah, I pulled my garland from a lot of my live streams for December for Patreon. I did Naruto. I think Neji's my favorite because his hair is just like so whoosh. And Zabuza was fun. You know, I've watched this for years and years and years, and I read it last summer, and I can't say I've drawn a lot of the characters. Here I have some like compositional studies. Alright, here I really liked him. I didn't actually do anything with him. He almost became my Patreon sticker for December, but I went with a fox instead. And I love this. I might come back and visit that. Here were just some doodles and some compositional fall stuff. I liked these trees. These ended up going in to my Patreon original I did that I sent out for my party cat here. Some more composition things. This is just doing some like mindless patterns, which was kind of fun. Alright, this was a request from Patreon. I think it was something with a school bus, and I was like, oh, that sounds super cute, so I did all these animals. My favorite's the giraffe. He doesn't quite fit, but that's okay. I did some bluey doodles, which I don't really like. I wish I would have done them more organically. I did them on live and it didn't work very well, so I think I just need to practice more. But I did Bingo and Bluey in a different sketchbook, and I like them a lot, so I'm going to revisit this probably. Okay, this, one of my favorite images from this sketchbook. This was right after I finished watching Wednesday on Netflix, which is a retelling of the Addams Family, and I imagined them as animals. And Wednesday had some really nice outfits going on, but she is very goth. And I thought she'd make a good black cat, and then her roommate Enid is a werewolf, and so of course she has to be a wolf, and she's like, you know, rainbows and sunshine fills her wardrobe. So polar opposites, but the rainbow and goth item is always fun. So I did a Instagram reel on that, and that went really well. Like, it got a lot of traction, so that was great. More Christmas live streaming, some just like thinking. This was something I ran out of time. I really want to make a like printable, fold up, like you tape them together in a zigzag and they stand up on their own Christmas town. And so these were some sketches for that. I have like a library and a bank and a hotel. It's town hall. It's the art supply store, of course, next to the bakery. Another Christmas live stream. Oh, my pages are stuck together. Ooh, fun. Animals. Hot dog. This ended up being my sticker for Patreon for December. He should still be in my Patreon shop at this point, if you're interested. This was just, oh, I was playing Stardew Valley, and I was very early in the middle, and I liked this idea of like mining gems and deities and all that stuff. So I made this girl who I really liked. I really like the background too, and I was playing with the Posca markers that I just gotten. Here are all sorts of letters to Santa in different colors. I was trying to come up with an idea for my background, my freebie in my shop for December. And he ended up becoming the background for my freebie, and I really like him. I think he's really funny. This was, like the sketch was cute and the coloring ruined it. Playing out with some compositions for Patreon originals again. I love him. He ended up becoming, did I draw him in here? I don't remember where I drew him. Oh, I have an original, that's right. I did it on Bristol, and I was gonna give it to a patron for Patreon, but I liked it so much I ended up keeping him. And then I made a digital version of him. He will probably be a sticker next year. Eventually, that became a Patreon original. I was doing some studies of Cheyenne Barton's cat head shapes. Like, I draw cats very square-headed, and she does not. Like, they're very like round and squishy. And I was like, that's cool. Let's do some studies of that. So I thought that was fun. Just to shake up the shape language. And then using things I learned from the studies, I brought it back to my own style, and I made a cat that had a much rounder head, and it helped shake up my shape language, which was great. And he ended up being a baker. So I was watching the live action Beauty and the Beast through again, and I like the baker's colors and outfit, so I kind of used them to inspire this baker cat, and he became my sticker for January. He's also based on my family cat Tiger, who passed away after living for 19 years, passed away this year, so inspired that sticker. And then Socks was his brother, who also passed away this year, a few months later, and I decided Socks would be a wizard. I reinvented the sticker later. It's later on in the sketchbook, so I'll show you. But this is where it started. I wasn't in love with this. I didn't like how long and skinny it was, but I did like the sparkly socks. I might actually pull that out as a sticker later, just because socks are cool. I like socks. This was sketching. So I was heavy in Stardew Valley land. I played a ton over my winter break. And I just thought the mayor was kind of weird, how he was like asking you to find this really personal item when he didn't even know you very well. So I made it into a comic that really blew up on Reddit and then on Twitter and things like that. So that was fun. I did a comic about my cat liking boxes for Christmas. And he thinks it's Boxmas instead of Christmas. And then I did some sketches for a comic about the manga smell, which if you've read manga, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you think I'm nuts, but I'm okay with that. This, I don't know what this is. I have no idea. Oh, I think it was me trying to rework my schedule for January, because I have been doing, I'll show you the before and after. So before, ta-da, and after, ta-da. Before was week by week, and it felt convoluted. Like there was a lot going on, a lot of graphics, and it was not very legible. Like it felt like it was screaming at you. And then on the other newer end, it's simplified, it's easy to read, and I don't know, I just think it's more digestible. So I like how I did it for January. I'm gonna do it again for February. Or I did. Here, I'll show you February's too. But I like the more digestible version. This is another live stream. I like the calendar on this. I think that's really cute. I think I ended up using this penguin for that Christmas garland again. This was notes for, oh, this was making my materials list for school. That was Christmas food live stream. This was a spread I did on Hell's Moving Castle. I didn't finish watching it that time, but I've seen it 1,000 times, so it's fine. But I put it on and kind of like drew some of the characters in this like sketchy-ish style. I like Calcifer a lot. I always thought she was cute. I'm not in love with this drawing. But then like the little slug that comes out of the bag that Sophie's mom leaves. Hal doesn't look nearly as, I don't know. I'm not in love with that drawing of Hal. But Sophie, not bad. I'm okay with that. I want to do more of this for other Ghibli movies in my lack of free time. But we'll see. Maybe next sketchbook. Then I was like, I really enjoy drawing things in my own style now that I kind of have my style nailed down. So I was doing Jayhawks, which come from the University of Kansas mascot. And he's had many iterations throughout the years. But these were my attempts. This was in the depths of my Stardew Valley binge. And I love the chickens. Love them. But I like the first coop the best. I think it's really cute. You upgrade it, you lose the side yard and it turns red. I know you can turn it back to green, which I did, but I just thought this is the best coop. And I have one of each chicken in the game. And I understand, like, proportionally they're like up to my shoulder, but that's okay. We're not worried about that. But it was fun. I actually drew that while we were watching Knives Out Glass Onion, which is on Netflix. As of right now, it's only been out a couple months. But this was my favorite outfit. I thought it was delightful. So I drew him. I know his ears aren't that big. I should probably take him in. This is the Calico Desert Warp from Stardew. I thought it was an interesting design. Again, more different cat head shapes like I was doing with those other studies earlier. And then I like brought it in and turned it into kind of like a different kind of shrine. I don't really like it, but it's okay. It was a sketch, it's fine. Some lady doing star stuff. Doodles from Men in Black. Wasn't in love with that. Pinterest trends from 2023. I don't think I did anything with this. Like nothing at all. So maybe I'll come back and look at it later, but it wasn't super inspiring. I was watching Trolls, and that was fun. The chef troll is really kind of like scary looking. I did some daisy cupcake sketches and some like wildflower cupcake sketches and some purple floral cake sketches. I like that one. I was working with colored pencil and like maybe I'm impatient now, but I just like wasn't feeling it. And then I was working on some sticker designs. I like this In TikTok We Trust. I kind of want to do it like purple and yellow and like make it cute. And then many millennials prefer the half cart over the full cart, but they're like hard to draw. So I did a ton of designs. I didn't really like any of them just because they're so tall and skinny. Some more sketches about cats and working. Here we go. So Krobus is a character from Stardew Valley, and he likes this thing called void mayonnaise you can make out of this special egg. He has a very expensive sprinkler that comes from really handy later. And so I had like just some sketching ideas, and I was like, what if he reads stories to like the sewer mice, like he lives in the sewer and stuff. And then I was like, let's turn that into a comic. So I ended up making a comic here, and it didn't do as well as the first Stardew Valley comic, but it was still really fun. I really liked it. Trying to play with an emotional baggage sticker, didn't love it. I like this drawing, that's cute. Some pumpkins, some pattern, some birds. Ooh, okay, so this gnome was based off a photo that I took at Home Goods, I think, and they had all the Christmas stuff on sale, and they had all of their like bottle brush trees, and the gnome was stuck in the middle of it, and it kind of looked like he was in a forest, so I liked that, so I used that to inspire that. They had some cool Valentine's Day gnomes that I liked, some more pattern. This page, I feel like could have been really cool if I had thought about it before I did it. So I did it in colored pencil, and I finished, and I was like, I wish I had done it in watercolor pencil so I could blend it all out. And then I remembered later on that you can blend colored pencils really easily if you have a lot of pigment on the paper with alcohol markers, specifically the colorless blender. It's the number 0 if you're looking for Copic. And I don't know, like it's okay. I like the idea, but I also feel like I've seen this idea 1,000 times, so it's okay, but not super in love with it. You know, that took forever. I was working on some pattern designs. I was creeping on people at the coffee shop I was at, doing some more comic sketches. This ended up being talking about my not ideal work-life balance that I have. Here I was planning out some workshop stuff. I was working on like people who hoard stuff, but like not really hoarding in like the mental illness that we think of it, like in like the funny way. You know, like plant people just keep buying plants, cat people just keep getting cats, like that type of thing. And so I did I love to turn this into a sticker actually, but it's an old lady in like a little car with like a bajillion cats all in there. So that's cute. I might come back to that. That could be fun. Some lo-fi. Oh, I remember what I was doing. So for Christmas, I got one of those sets where you put like all the little words on the fridge and they're magnets. and we started doing weird combinations. And so I wrote them all down, and then I started doing sketches on them. So I have Night Noise over 10 Oceans. I have Cultures Curious and Complex. And then Learn to be Luxurious, and it's just me with like a crayon and like some sort of fur-lined cape and a bunch of money. Dubious Dog Shapes the World. It's like some Adventure Time stuff. And then That Broken Shadow Machine is Tired. So like I said, Krobus from Stardew Valley is a shadow person, and I wrote, Krobus trips on your farm and breaks his foot, and he sues you for all you're worth. You're bankrupt, LOL. So, yeah. I saw these cute little stitched hearts at that same Home Goods trip I did when I saw the gnome, and I hate these. I think they're gross. I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was just like, I get to this point where if I do too much sketchbooking and I don't have a real plan, I just kind of start like filling the page just for the sake of filling it rather than actually creating. So that's what was happening there. But then I stopped and I drew this kind of cross-legged cat. And this ended up becoming the sticker for, what month is it? February. And this is Socks. So this is the companion to the tiger sticker. So they actually end up going together. I have a little story about them I've made up, but basically Socks lives at the top of this mountain that is then the print for February for Patreon. And so Socks the wizard lives at the top of the mountain, and Tiger the baker, who's much more social, lives at the bottom of the mountain. But every night they get together for dinner, and that's all I've got. But it's very true to their personalities. I was working on another Cookie Cat sticker. I sold out of the one that I had, but it was like one of my best sellers, so I was like, maybe I'll make another one. But then like it's hard to draw. Like it's a really weird shape, so I don't know, we'll see. And I drew like Cookie Cat, like a character, which was fun. I watched Sing 2, which I love those movies so much, and I drew Portia, who's an Arctic wolf, and Suki, who is a dog. I like Portia the best out of these two drawings. Bunch of vlog ideas I was working with. Actually ended up making a video on that, so you can check that out. It's on YouTube somewhere. So if you want to know 100 video ideas, check it out. I was trying to figure out my life, and then I did like a nice weekend like bullet journal sort of thing, and it was fun. It was good. It was a nice like think about the weekend reset, so highly recommend that. Alright, and I just skipped about 4 pages because it was notes on a project for an NDA that you'll see in a year. But I did all of these little yogurt cup still lives, and this is the one that's in the main sketchbook. The other two are in other sketchbooks that you'll see eventually, but if you want to see how these are drawn, that's in a vlog that I have already released, so you can go check that out if you want. But I loved this. This is not the shape of the actual jar. It's much more straight up and down. It's less flared, but I love the whole vibe. This is something where I would take into Photoshop and just like tweak it, and then maybe, I don't know what I would do with it. I can make a fun sticker, but like, would only I buy it? I don't know. This was the first live stream I did with a ton of media. It was fun. I got some good recommendations. I wasn't going as fast as the non-color ones take, so it was less engagement. It was really, really odd. It was fun. I like some of these. I like the rainbow snow cone quite a bit. And I think the grilled cheese melting this is fun. I was working out kind of a comic, and then it ended up turning into this little bookmark, which is in my shop. And I didn't have a tuxedo cat yet in my merch lineup, so I did a tuxedo cat. I did take away the word balloon. I played with it, but it just wasn't flowing, and I liked the stack of books quite a bit better on its own. I'm from Lawrence, Kansas, and I have a sticker collection on Etsy right now from when I was making my own stickers in my own studio, and they are made of weatherproof paper, but they're not waterproof, they're not dishwasher safe. And now that I'm outsourcing my stickers, I'm clearing out the last of my stock before I make more. And so these were sketches and ideas of making some more, and I really like the Jayhawk Boulevard street sign with some daisies or sunflowers at the bottom, and then some just like lettering, a donut for some reason. So just kind of, oh, and the KU bus, kind of playing around with some ideas there. I'm rereading Beastars. I got to chapter 150 a while back, and now I realized they have like 50 more chapters, so I started back at the beginning, worked my whole way through. I'm almost back to where I was, but just did some Haru and Legacy sketches. And then this was Hourly Comic Day. I always miss Hourly Comic Day, but it's when you draw a little comic panel hourly throughout the day of February 1st and then kind of post it on the 2nd. So I did them in this very loose doodle style to save me some like stress and like my perfection issue, and that was really smart. I really liked it. I posted that on my Kelly is Best if you want to read it. Alright, and then these last pages, I did a whole video on making them actually. So if you want to check that out and see the whole process of the rest of the sketchbook, that video is on my channel. But here I have a Pocky Titan. This is an idea I think I wrote down in like 2015 or something, and it's been hanging out on my phone since then. And I was like, today is the day. So I drew a Pocky Titan. There's a little shepherd with some sheep. Why? I don't know, but I think he's cool. I wanted to do some Savannah sketches too. Savannah, Georgia is where I currently reside, and I didn't like him, so I stopped. Here were just some like cats and paw print stuff, and I really, really like this. He might become my March Patreon print for 2023. I don't know yet. I have to reformat him, and this pink will never print normal picture wise, so I have to edit him, but I like the vibes, so I'm thinking this might be the direction I go. Maybe not, we'll see. And this is a great moment to thank my Patreons for supporting me. Thank you so much, patrons. If you want some more behind the scenes or early access to videos or merchandise, go check out my Patreon. My link is in the description. Thank you. I liked the phrase, "the panic is attacking me." I thought it was funny, but I couldn't get it into like a sticker that worked, so I gave up. This is another idea I had in my phone for years and years and years, and it was this idea of this girl reading a map, and it's like a paper map, but then it's like this forest of screens, and it's kind of a metaphor for being here and now using these tactile tools where you're just surrounded by screens all the time. Like looking up, I have Wizardry all around me, just sitting at my desk alone. So it was kind of interesting. I used this really odd color pencil where the tip is multicolored. So depending on how you hold it, different colors comes out. Weird, but I've used it. I kind of like it. It has some weird variety. Sunshine Lollipops was a prompt I had on my phone for some reason, and I tried it. Not in love with it. It ended up being like kind of looking like Lucky Charms, like a bunch of other shapes. But this was where I was getting sketchbook fatigue, and I decided to take a break for the night and just read. And I'm glad I did, because I meditated on it. With a plan for the last few spreads. So this is brainstorming for it, and I did 4 seasons of adventure. And this is summer. He's taking a break. This is fall. He's working on his map. This is spring. He's fishing. And then this is winter. He runs into a little snowman guy. And then my last spread is sketching for more future comics about a very embarrassing moment I had recently. I'm going to immortalize my comic. And then me using way more garlic than necessary when I'm cooking, but that's because it makes it better. And if you like this video, you'll probably like this video as well, where you can see me actively finishing out this sketchbook.